Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I did this ombre effect double winged eyeshadow look on this beautiful girl. I'm in love and I'm obsessed with the end result. This is the first time I did something of such sort on my client and I loved how it turned out. So if you're interested to see how I did this look, then please keep watching. So we obviously did start with a very clean base. I did prep her skin using some rose water spray beforehand, and now I'm using my Maybelline illuminating primer. This is with the pink packaging and it's really good for combination skin type if you want a glowy base underneath your foundation. So I'm using a flat bristle brush and spreading this primer all over her face. And then I go in with my Dirty Works brow powder in dark brown and I use that to fill in the very little sparse spots that she has in her brows. Her brows are already super dense, so I hardly had to do anything with them. And then I go in with my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade 20 and I use that to carve out her brows. This is basically going to give us a very neat finish underneath her brows and it's going to help us, have a very clean eye look. This part is not necessary, but I do prefer you do it because it will change your eye makeup a lot more. It will look a lot more crisp and neater. So here I basically use the tip of the brush first to mark out the parts I'm going to carve, like the outline of the carving, and then I use the rest of the brush to basically drag the foundation down, the concealer, sorry, my bad, and I drag it down onto her eyelid and basically do the same thing on the top part as well. This is me just shaping her brows. She never got her brows done in her life and they'll look stunning, oh my god. And then I spread the same concealer on her eyelid area and I use a concealer buffing brush to spread that all around. We're going to use it as a base for eyeshadow, so it's going to basically brighten up her eyelids and help the color pop out a lot more. Now here I'm using a tape for this look. I'm going to stick this tape on the outsides of her eye. So I'm basically gonna trace the lower part of her eye till her brow area and she couldn't stop laughing. This was so weird for her, but yeah, we basically trace it from the bottom part of her lashes to the eyebrow ending, the tail of the brow, and that is where you stick the tape and make sure it's equal on both the sides. And here I'm basically using a very translucent eyeshadow for prepping the concealer on her eyelids. Now I'm going in with a very flat bristle brush. I'm using a dark purple eyeshadow and I'm going to basically draw this shape and make sure it does not touch the tape. So this is going to be our upper wing of the look, and I'm using a very lighter purple shade compared to the first one that we applied, and I'm basically going to use that to blend out the purple eyeshadow so it looks a lot more softer to the eye and does not look harsh when you do the whole look. Now here I'm using a very dark brown and I'm basically going to use that to darken the purple eyeshadow. And then I'm gonna use my Maybelline concealer that I used to carve her brows. I'm gonna use that to basically clean up the lower part of the purple. I'm gonna carve a crease over here, and this part is where we're gonna fill in our other colors. So we're doing this step basically to make sure the colors that we apply over here pop out and have a very vibrant effect. And here I'm making sure I carve out my upper wing neatly how I want the shape and everything. Then I use a very tiny flat bristle brush and I use this yellow eyeshadow. And by the way, I forgot to mention, I'm using my Color Studio palette by Beauty Glacier. All the shadows are from the same palette. And here I'm basically using this yellow shade on the inner corners of her eye, and we're going to transition into the sunset color. So here I'm using the orange color from the same palette and I'm going to basically blend that in with the yellow eyeshadow so it looks a lot more, like it's fusing into the yellow, and it looks super blended like that. And here I work the same shadow there. Then I go in with a light pink, a very light pink eyeshadow, and I use that to blend the orange with it. Then I go in with the purple eyeshadow that we used previously and I use that to basically make the second wing. And here I'm basically following the tape and I'm gonna use that as a guide to mark my lower wing. And basically, because we already marked the tape equally on both sides, the wing will automatically look the same. And just make sure you're very light hand with the eyeshadow when you're doing this look. If you're gonna be really rough with it, it's gonna be all messy. Here I'm using a cotton pad with some makeup remover solution on it, and I'm using that to basically clean up the mess that we had, the little fallout that we had on her cheeks. And then I go in with my color corrector, and I'm using this green color corrector by LA Pro Girl, and I'm using that to basically cancel out all the redness that we have on our skin. Then I go in with my Wet n Wild foundation in the shade Caramel and Nude Ivory and mix the both shades together to get her skin tone. And then I use a very flat bristle brush by the brand MSQ. I got it off Amazon as well. This brush is the perfect thing for skin like finish. I used to use a beauty blender before, but then I started using this and it was like a game changer. Like it's so much more easier and so much more like lesser product is applied, but the coverage is equally the same, but the amount of product is like lesser. Then I use the same concealer buffing brush that we were using on our eyelids, and I use that with my Makeup Revolution concealer palette. I go in with the lightest shade in the palette and I use that all over her lower eye region and basically spread that in a small triangle underneath her eyelids. So this is basically going to brighten up her lower eye, make her look a lot more awakened, and just brighten up her face in general. And I blend that using the same foundation brush that we used previously, so the colors do blend in seamlessly and you don't have any harsh lines on the edges of the foundation and the concealer. And here I'm using a dabbing motion mostly with my brush, but like in some spots I do like slightly press the brush into her skin. And then I apply the same concealer onto her chin area, her forehead region, as well as a little bit on the bridge of her nose area. So this is going to again brighten up the centers of her face where the light generally hits, and it's going to look a lot more, awakened and like bright, which we want here because the eyeshadow look is already so intense. We want the face to match the look. So now I'm using my Wet n Wild contour palette, and I'm going to go in with the contour shade, and I'm going to use that to basically add color to her face. I'm going to contour her cheekbones area, her forehead region, as well as her jawline area. So this is basically gonna help us basically sharpen her features, sharpen her bone structure on her face, and she's so cute. And then I use the banana powder in the same palette, and I use that to basically set the concealer in. I'm using a very puffy angular brush, and I'm applying the same thing on the bottom of her contour. This is to clean the contour up. Now I'm using the same powder to contour up her nose, and I'm applying the banana powder in the center of the nose. Then I'm using a very light pink shade that we used into her for blending the orange with, and I'm applying that on her lower eye region. And then I'm using the purple with a very flat brush, and I'm applying that right below her waterline. This is basically going to give us some dimension into her eye look and blend the upper eye makeup with the lower eye makeup, and it won't look awkward in the end. So that's what I'm doing here. We were like jamming, like full on having a jam session to music. It was so much fun. I'm using the same purple shade here in her waterline with a lot more flatter brush here. So here I'm doing pressing down motion so the color stays on her waterline and doesn't like spread around and make a mess. And then I basically apply a very thin coat of mascara onto her lashes because her lashes are generally like so beautiful. Like she had amazing long lashes. So I apply a very thin layer of mascara onto them, and then I will go ahead and apply some e.l.f. Cosmetics blush. I'm using the apricot shade, the most used shade in my palette. So I basically use that to add some color to her face because the whole foundation did like cover up the actual color underneath. So I applied the same blush on a little bit on her forehead, her nose, her chin. Now we're applying my falsies. These are longer at the corners and smaller at the inner corners, so this will give a lot of fluttery effect to her eyes. This was her first time wearing false lashes, so it was like such a weird experience. They literally feel like spiders on your eyelids, so it's really funny. Every time I see someone applying them for the first time, it's the best thing. I love it. And then I apply a thin coat of mascara on her bottom lashes, and now I'm using my Wet n Wild highlighter in Precious Pearls, and I'm gonna highlight her cheekbones, her tip of her nose, her chin, her bridge of her nose, and a little bit on her forehead region as well. Then I clean her lips using a cotton bud and a makeup remover solution, and I'm gonna basically get ready for our lip products, and I make her use Labello on her lips to moisturize them so they're not rough. And then I go in with my Huda Beauty liquid lipstick in the shade Famous, and I use that to outline her lips first and make the shape where we're gonna fill in. I apply the same shade on the outer corners of her lower and upper lip area. We are going to apply a very lighter purplish color on the center part of her lips to give a very purple tone to the lip look, because we want the colors on her eyes to match her lips. Otherwise it's going to be very off and it's not going to go together. together. So here I'm using the lighter purple shade. This is also from Huda Beauty. These colors went blended so beautifully together, and you can see a little bit tint of purple onto her lip area. So that really helped with the eye makeup look. And now this is her reaction.
I have never worn so much makeup. Anushka, oh my god.
She was in shock clearly. Now we're gonna apply our jewelry, and I'm using this floral jewelry set that I got off Amazon in India, from India's Amazon. And after applying the jewelry, this is how the final looked. I literally, oh my god, this was so beautiful. One of my favorite looks I've done so far. She looks stunning, like wow, 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 beautiful, beautiful. Oh my god. If you like this tutorial, then please make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you will. We took some amazing pictures with this look, so if you want to check them out, the link to my Instagram is down below in the description, so make sure you go and check out the pictures that we took. They were like next level beautiful. Anyways, so this is all for today, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.